Everybody, it's Psychic Hunter David. Well, it is Tuesday, another beautiful day in Toronto. Apparently it's gonna dip a little to 17 Celsius and then right back up by Monday to 25, which is really amazing to have that beautiful weather. You know what I mean? I am available, so give me a call. And remember, the special is on, as I've repeated numerous times, until Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving Monday. And that, of course, is Columbus Day in the States. So that's the full consultation internationally for 90 plus calling card if you're in Europe, Africa, or wherever. And stateside as well. The calling card isn't necessary for North America because I have a calling plan. But Canada, of course, it's 101.70. That's for the full hour. And then the 40-minute reading is 67.80. Now, remember, when you have your first reading with me, it is never the small reading. It is not, it doesn't work. So you have to go for the full. And as a matter of fact, like I said, in future, when things get reevaluated, I'm going to sort of alleviate that because I want it to be a statistic structure going forth with my accountants. So we've talked about it. But anyway, on a happy note, it is a gorgeous day. We are moving closer to that full moon in Aries. You'll see that moon can become bigger and bigger and bigger. And of course, that is Mars, and Neptune's there, which means being deceived. I had a dream about somebody with their fake teeth. This one here still isn't replaced. I broke my veneers, so I have to wait until later to get this surgically removed and redone. So that'll be in the next week or so. But anyway, all I can tell you is be very careful. Remember, behind a smile, there's sometimes rotten teeth. That old saying of Elizabeth I and her white complexion with, putting all that shit on her face, and her teeth were rotten from her love of sugar. Anyway, as I said, this is a really interesting energy. Be very careful if you have placements in Aries, Libra, Cancer, or Capricorn, because this is going to shake things up. It's going to shake things up quite a bit. And one of the things I was going to talk about with you Aries out there, Aries have to be very careful. And I've mentioned this to numerous, and some of them get a little bit sort of, off kilter when I talk about it. But what I'm saying to Aries is, don't get caught up in suspicion. Don't get caught up in conspiracy theory and all this other crap, because it can make you feel almost neurotic with Neptune there. You want to get rid of that and say, no, I'm going to use this from a spiritual tone, creative tone, expressive tone, and I'm not going to enable nor allow, because it can get you worked into a tizzy. Pisces have to be very careful too, because they're becoming bigger balls in a bowl, and you want to dump that. You want to get rid of that fully, because that won't work either, as we're going to see with our Canadian Prime Minister, because when Neptune goes back into Pisces for a few months before it goes direct and then moves back into Aries, you got a lot of cleaning up to do, and you've got Saturn there, which is going to hold you accountable for everything. And if anybody lies, Saturn actually uncovers lies. People trip up, and Pisces have to be very careful about this. It's a tough thing. So do Capricorns. You just have to be real. Be real. Virgos, it's who you relate to, how you relate, because that's sitting in Pisces where the North Node is, which is destined, which means sometimes getting into conflict is destiny. Anyway, a little longer than normal, but I wanted to get that clear. Wish you guys all the best. I'm around. Give me a call, and you heard it here first. Enjoy the day. Cheers.